It's Loves to Loom here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my own original cuckoo bracelet. Today I'm only going to be actually using 5-bar pins, which is only going to be about this big, but I don't have a lot of filming time, and I just really wanted to get something out to you, so that's why I'm not making like a full length today. But for you, if you want a full length, you will need 10 or even 15 bar pins. So there you have it. Without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get started. To get started, you'll want to have at least 10 to 15 bar pins for a full wrap. You'll want to have them set up 5 wide like this in a staggered position. And the beginning should be like a V like so. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm only going to make a small piece for the sake of filming time. So I only have one loom length with the 5 wide. But if you're doing a full wrap, you'll want to have 2 loom lengths or possibly 3 loom lengths for a full wrap, which would equal 15 bar pins. So with that being said, you'll also need 1 C-clip and your hook, and we will start by laying the border bands here, which are the zebra, and then we'll also lay bands in the center, which is zebra as well. But I'll start with the borders, and I'm going to use my dual layer bands. I think it's like red brick or something like that. So we'll just start by putting 1 in the center for closing it up. Bring it out to the right. I like to get the bottom row done first, so I'll go out to the left. And now we'll just go up the sides. So it's a basic single chain, like so. It feels so weird only having this tiny little loom. I always usually use a long loom, but since I have a little bit of time today, I chose to do it this way, and I hope that's okay. So let's see, I'm actually going to stop at this pin here because I need room to bring it in. So I'll bring it in 2 times like so. We'll come back to this side and do the left side. I'm not going to have much time to film the rest of the week. That's why I'm kind of cutting it short and making this tiny little piece. But I just wanted to be able to get something out there to you guys so you're not waiting forever. It's been a while since I've released anything. So I will not make this a habit of only making a tiny piece. Normally I like to make the whole bracelet, so I'm really sorry. So I have my border done there. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay a single chain down the center. And I'm going to use the same color. You can switch it if you'd like. Take it all the way down to the top, like so. So now take a moment, go ahead and push all of those down. And then you will want to get the color that we will be laying for the rainbow that is in this bracelet here. So all those different colors is what we're going to lay now. And that is going to be what I use olive green for. So these bands, we're just going to be laying a diagonal band going inwards. So come to the corner of your loom and bring it in like so. You can do one side at a time, or you can just do both. It's up to you. So come up to the next pin, bring it in. Next pin, same thing. Very simple. We do that all the way up. And then we'll want to do the same thing. Oh, and you do want to lay one up here. which is over top of the border band. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. Like so. So obviously I'm going to get done a lot quicker since I'm only doing one loom length. So you can hit that pause button and then, you know, so you can catch up and then, yeah. Sorry, I'm so like, duh today. I don't know why. Probably because I'm not getting enough sleep. Okay, so I've went ahead and pushed some of those down. And now we are going to go to our next color, which is going to be the color black in the middle. So that horizontal band going across there is what we're going to lay next. And I'm going to use my dark navy blue. This is super easy. We're just going to lay it horizontally across the bottom pins. And let me just double check. Okay, so we do lay one on the first pin here, but we're not going to lay it on the last pin. So we'll start there, go up to the next row, keep repeating all the way up, laying it straight across. Okay, so I just totally realized that I got the two ends mixed up. Where we're going to start looping at is where we actually do want the horizontal band to be. So you do want one here, okay? But at the beginning, this very first row is actually the one we do not want to have one. I had it mixed up, and after I was sitting here looking at it thinking, this is the end that we actually start looping from, and we do want one there. So, again, back here with the arrows facing away from you, you don't want one on the one closest to you. You want it at the beginning. Okay, so with that being said, I'm really sorry. I had a big brain cramp. And now for the next set of bands, we're going to lay some more diagonal bands. The color that we lay now is going to be the gray over here on the sides. And let me show you on this one because it pops out a little more. It's the white over here. And I'm going to use white again. So this time we're just going to be laying the bands diagonal going out. We will not lay anything on this first row here. We'll come up to the second row, lay it out, diagonally going outwards this time. Like so. And you'll do that all the way up as well. Voila. I'll come to the left side, do the same thing. Diagonally out. Oh, and please don't mind this color combo. I'm like totally running low on bands, and I had to kind of scrounge with what I have, so it's probably going to be ucky. Alright, so I have that laid. I know I'm getting done really fast, so again, hit that pause button and catch up. And once you have that, we do need to lay one more section. And that is going to be, actually, you don't really see it a whole lot from this side, but it's going to be the white that is right in here. It connects to the zebra bands. Show you on this side, it's the teal. So these bands in here. So you don't really see them a whole lot. But it is inside, so I'm going to use gray for that, and we will just be laying those on the second and fifth row here, and it's just going to be a single chain up these two rows, And this is the last set of bands that we need to lay before the looping process. Come over to your second row and do the same thing. I already laid it on my 5th row, so I'll do the same thing on this one. Yeah, the color that you're laying right now, it doesn't really matter if it's like a bold color because it's hidden for the most part. Since I'm not considering this a reversible design, you won't really see it too much. Okay, so now you're going to want to push everything down and then turn your loom around. And we're going to put a cap band on this front pin here using the same color that you used for your border in the beginning. So you're just going to wrap it around 2 times. And since I am using these dual bands, you're probably going to see them get twisted as I'm doing it because I'm not going to focus on fixing that until the end. So don't worry about it if it looks a little bit messy. So once you've done that, now we can go ahead and start the looping. Just make sure your loom looks like this, that you're not missing anything. So the first thing that we're going to do is go inside the cap band here and grab the top border bands. The very top one's actually going to be the band in the middle here, and we're going to bring it forward. And then we'll grab the bottom band, which is the border band, so bring those back to themselves. Like so. Now, at this point, I'm going to actually stop doing what I'm doing here. And we're going to do something with these olive green bands first. So we need to actually come up here to the top of the loom. And we're kind of going to be rearranging these olive bands. So like the top part of the band. So we're going to start on this second pin here. You're going to go inside my white band in order to grab onto this green band, or the olive green. We're going to take it off of the pin, and we're just going to stretch it diagonally up to the pin above it. So see how it's stretching that olive green band? But you want to make sure you go inside here in order to grab it. You don't want to be grabbing it from the outside. So go inside the diagonal white band, grab your diagonal olive green, take it off the pin, straight up, reconnect it up here. So we're basically just stretching it up one more pin and reattaching it. I keep my hook like this, go inside, and I just grab it like that. Carefully pull it backwards to get it off, and then stretch it up and reattach. I think I have done this step. Actually, I know I have done this step in a design before, so you probably do know what I'm talking about if you're familiar with my tutorials. So you're going to want to make sure you do that all the way down the loom. And then once you do it correctly, it should look something like that. So you probably have a lot more work to do on that side. I'm going to go ahead and start on my right side. So don't forget you need to stop at the top of the loom. Start on the second pin down and do the same thing. I'm now on my right side, so I'll go in and grab it, take it off the pin, and stretch it up one. Reconnect it. Do the same thing. And voila. So now that we have rearranged all the top portion of our olive green band, we're going to come back down to where we started looping in the beginning. If you're not caught up, hit the pause button, get caught up, and then come back. So now we will go ahead and continue. So from this point, we're going to be looping all of the bands kind of as we go, except for the bottom border bands. Everything else we're going to do step by step. So I'm going to grab my gray band here that's on row 2 and 5, and that is the band that is vertical, and we're going to loop that into the center band, or pin, excuse me. So you're going to need to push back the top band, grab that very top band in there, which is my gray, and you're going to bring it to the center and connect it. Do the same thing on this side. Bring it into the center, reconnect like so. Once you do that, we're going to come back inside that same pin, and we're going to grab the next band, which should be that green. And that's going to go forward. So you do need to move the horizontal band out of the way, that blue. Grab your band and bring it forward. The band that you're bringing forward should be the same band, that green band that's diagonally going like that, the one we rearranged. So repeat it on this side, grab that band and loop it straight forward. Like so. Now there normally is one more step that we would do, but we don't do it on this first row. So now what we'll just do is go in the center pin, grab the very bottom band, and loop it forward. Like so. So we're going to kind of start that all over again. Come up to the second pin, set of pins, grab your top band, and you're going to bring it into the center on both sides. Now this part is what is different. This time you should have the diagonal white bands. We're going to grab that, and that is going to go out to the right. Grab it, bring it out to the right. It's not going back to itself. It's coming up here to the right. See how it goes from that pin to this pin. Repeat the same thing on the left side, like that. Once you do that, now we're going to loop that olive green again, and that band goes forward. So you're going to push back your horizontal band, grab the very bottom band, which is my olive green, and loop it forward. Like so. We'll go in the center, grab our bottom band, and loop it forward, which is like the start of our next section. So now we're on our third pin here. First thing we'll do is loop our green, or excuse me, our gray into the center. And then the diagonal bands, the white ones, are going to go out to the right, out to the left. Like so. And then we'll do our olive green now, going forward. So we go back in that same pin, grab the bottom band, loop it forward. Make sure you're pushing that horizontal blue out of the way when you grab that olive green. And we're actually just going to keep continuing that same pattern, so we'll go in the center, loop it forward, grab your top band on row 2 and 5. You're going to bring that into the center. My diagonal white band, which is the next band on row 2 and 5 in that pin, you're going to bring that out to the right and left. Go back in that same pin one more time, and we'll bring that one forward. So if you haven't noticed, I believe we go in the same pin 3 different times. So the first one goes to the center pin, the second band goes out to the band, or to the pin to the left, and the last one goes forward. I'm so tongue-tied today. Can you tell? I'm kind of like bah, bah, bah. So we will do that all the way up the loom. Hopefully that's not too much trouble. And I did mean to tell you too, if you want to do one side at a time, like for example, I just looped the middle one forward, and then you can go, if I'm going to do this left side, grab my top gray. We know that one goes into the center, so I bring that one to the center, go in the same pin again, bring that one out to the left, go back in one more time, and bring that forward. So you loop it 3 times out of that same pin, then you can come to the right side and do the same thing. Bring it to the center, the next one goes out to the right, and then the last one, very bottom band, goes forward. That might be easier so you're not going like back and forth. It might save you a little bit of time. I wish I would have thought of that sooner. I would have told you. Sorry. I'm sure you guys can tell I'm just kind of out of it today. I know I've said that like a million times. As you can see, I'm on my very last set here. So you do everything the same that you did all the way up the loom. Make sure you loop that last center band forward so that your bracelet does not fall apart. So once you have completed that, this is what it should look like. And then all we need to do now is come back to the beginning, and we're going to loop our border bands. There is nothing fancy about the way we loop the border. It is very basic. You just bring everything back to itself. Just make sure you're getting everything out of the way, grabbing that very bottom band, and then loop it up. You may want to have everything pushed down already though, just so you have some room to put that border band on. The top one, you bring it in, and then bring this second one in as well to the top center pin. And then we'll do the right side as well. And again, we're just looping all of the bottom band all the way up. bring these into the center. And there you have it. So then we did lay one band at the top here, and that's going to be for our C-clip. So push back, grab a part of that bottom of that band, bring the two ends together, and we will attach our C-clip there. So I actually don't have a C-clip here in front of me, but once you have attached your C-clip, use your hook and start carefully removing the side pins. You don't want to go yanking it all off because then it's just going to make things messy. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and I'll be right back to show you my finished piece. Okay, so I did pull mine off of the loom, and I started like untwisting my red bands because the dual bands get a little bit twisty. But I want to show you what it looks like before I touch it, and it may look like messed up in the middle or not straight. So you are going to need to stretch it out to try to make it even, because if you just pull to one side, it's going to make that middle uneven. So you want to try to pull it at the same time so that they lay nice and straight in the middle like that. Now, some of the horizontal bands, especially depending on what type of band you used, may get like twisted, like that one's twisted in there. You're going to need to just grab it with your fingers and roll it, just as you would any other kind of twisted band, to try to get it untwisted. But yeah, the main thing is grabbing it and stretching it to the left and right evenly so that it lays nice and even in the center. And then you can always pull on these here. There's not a whole lot you have to do to the sides. Unless they're like overlapping like that, you can kind of separate it with your fingernail if you have one, just so they're laying side by side. I think it looks cuter, or neater I should say, if it's laying side by side instead of overlapped. There's nothing really to do to the back side. Like I said, I'm not considering this a reversible design, but you can also just try to like stretch it out from the back side as well, which can help the front lay a little cleaner. So yeah, I know it's a little tiny baby piece, but there you have my cuckoo bracelet. This is my own original design. I certainly hope you guys like it. I'm sorry if I just seemed completely out of it today. I need a little bit more sleep, but I just wanted to get something out to you guys because it has been a little while. But I definitely love this design. I hope you do too. Please hit the like button below if you do. Also, please tag me. I'd love to see your renditions. You can tag me on Instagram at @LovesToLoom. And you can also hashtag cuckoo bracelet. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you real soon at my next tutorial. Thanks, bye!